Of course, there are shortcuts when it comes to fitness. Anything that makes it easier to perform the necessary work will enable you to get better results in less time.
The past few videos I've been talking a lot about progression, how progression is what gets you the result. It's what adds the value to your exercise. Therefore, that is what makes you grow and progress and basically get the results that you're after. Just relying on hard work doesn't cut it, because you can work like crazy, but if you're not adding extra value and extra ability into your exercise, nothing really happens. You're working your ass off to stay where you're at. I want to get a little more into what exactly is going on from a physiological perspective here. We typically think a lot that fitness is like what the body's doing sort of thing. Okay, what the muscles are working, where's the joints in this exercise and things like that. But the fact of the matter is it's all up here. Everything about progress, everything about your technique and stuff is between the ears, and the body's just following suit. Your brain is the program. It's the computer, and it programs your body just exactly like a programmer programs like a mobile app or something like that. The brain tells the body what to do. Changing the body is very simple. The body will do and change and adapt to whatever your brain tells it to. Always, 100% of the time. If the brain demands it, the body will change. It's training the brain that's the hard part. But we lose sight of this. We think that if the body is doing something, then we should be getting a certain result, which is not the case at all. When we want to progress and move forward, get stronger, bigger, faster, whatever like that, the only way this happens is if the brain makes a demand on your body, and your body kind of says, I don't quite have that ability. It's kind of, again, with the computer analogy, it's like as if the computer programmer wrote this program and the computer didn't quite have the capabilities of fulfilling that program. Now, in computer world, you have to get a different computer, but in the exercise world, the body says, I can't quite do that. I guess I gotta make some changes. Now, here's the kicker though. 9 times out of 10, when people have run into some sort of an exercise where, like, I'll tell them to do it a certain way or whatever, the mind will say, okay, body, I want you to do 10 pull-ups instead of 8, when they've always been doing 8. And excuse me, and they try and they can't do it. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is their mind says, yep, see, can't do it. Well, okay, I tried. And that's it. The fact is, your body needs to receive the signal that it needs to be able to do it many times in order for it to finally get the message that it needs to change. If you get to that pull-up bar and the body is only capable of doing roughly 8 pull-ups, and you try for 10 and it doesn't get it, you have to try it again and again and again and again. You have to basically, it's kind of like me when I was a student. I was a very poor student. I had to literally read the same instructions on like the homework and stuff. I had to read those instructions like 9 times to understand what the hell was going on. But then once I understood, then I could do it. Your body's the same way. It's slow to learn. It's slow to kind of get the message. So the brain has to say, do 10 pull-ups. I can't. Do 10 pull-ups. I can't quite do it. Do 10 pull-ups. Do it. And it has to keep hammering it down. Eventually the body's like, well, okay, fine, I'll make a few changes. And basically it's kind of like an overbearing boss. You know? Actually, I got a neat story for you. I used to be a taiko drummer. And for those who haven't really experienced taiko, it's kind of like, it's a Japanese form of drumming, but it's incredibly disciplined. It's kind of like military boot camp in many ways. I mean, hands get all bloody, and there's a lot of yelling and shouting, you know, and stuff like that. And you know, one of the students, not at my school, but at a different school, was telling me this, where he went to this school, and he was there for like a week, and the instructor says, I want you to play, you know, this piece. And the guy was like, dude, I never learned it. And the instructor said, do it. And he goes, I don't know it. And he said, do it. He said, I don't know it. And the instructor really kicked him and said, do it. And the guy literally got kicked out of the school, literally. And he's like, you know, there on the floor all beaten up, and he's like, oh my God, like this guy's crazy. But you know what happened? Within a week, he could play it. Because he went to the students, he's like, God, this instructor's crazy, I gotta do it. But the demand was there, and the demand was relentless, and therefore he was forced to learn it. Your body's the same way as the student. Your mind is the same thing. Your mind has to say, do it! And the body says, I can't. Do it! I really can't. Do it! Do it! It has to stay on it and be relentless. And eventually the body is like, I gotta do it. I gotta make changes here. But it's not going, it needs to literally get that signal in a forceful way, and eventually it'll get there. So that's the idea that we need to move forward with progression. Thoughts down below. Till then, be fit, live free.